Hi, I'm Teryn and welcome to my channel. If you've been watching Lovecraft Country, then I'm sure that you've noticed the amazing costumes in the show designed by Dayna Pink. In this video, I'm going to do a costume design breakdown of episode 1 titled Sundown of Lovecraft Country, which you can watch on HBO. To give you more information about the show if you're not familiar, I'm taking this passage directly from HBO.com. Based on Matt Ruff's novel of the same name, Lovecraft Country follows Atticus Freeman as he meets up with his friend Letitia and his uncle George to embark on a road trip across 1950s Jim Crow America in search of his missing father. This becomes a struggle to survive and overcome both the racist terrors of white America and the terrifying monsters that can be ripped from a Lovecraft paper book. Lovecraft Country is executive produced by showrunner Misha Green and some other people. So, taking you through the first episode, which is titled Sundown, Lovecraft Country is set in the summer of 1955 in Chicago, Illinois. In the first episode titled Sundown, we meet Atticus Freeman, also known as Tick. We see him with this bag, this army green bag, so we can presume that he's in the military and that based on the time that he's probably coming back from the Korean War. But as the Korean War ended in 1953, we also learn later on Tick spent some time in Florida before returning home to Chicago. In the scene, Tick wakes up from a dream and he is on a bus wearing a crewneck white t-shirt and dark blue jeans. This outfit is kind of common for soldiers of that era, as previously in other wars, like the white t-shirt was actually an undergarment for soldiers to wear, and it became more casual and worn in everyday life. I also learned in the article that jeans were being taken to wars by this time period. There's also a nicely dressed woman on the bus with Tick. She's wearing this brown dress with nice cream details and accent. She's the only other black person on the bus. There's the only two of them, and they're of course on the back of the bus. The bus breaks down and Tick and this woman are left to walk to their destination. We see that Tick has added on a brown sweater to his outfit, and with the lady wearing brown and Tick wearing brown, I feel like that's kind of a way for them to kind of blend in and not bring too much attention to themselves as they trek through this extra racist part of America during this era. So I feel like the brown kind of represents them trying to just like be grounded and not draw too much attention to themselves. Next we meet Tick's Uncle George, as well as Uncle George's wife Hippolyta and his daughter Diana, also known as Dee. They're in their sleepwear as Tick surprises them upon his return. He's trying to sneak into a window or something. After everyone is a bit settled in, we see Uncle George wearing a yellow button-up shirt with a floral tie. Yellow is the color of enlightenment, and we know that Uncle George puts out this travel book, which is similar to the Negro Motorist Green Book, which is for African Americans or black people in the United States to travel safely throughout the country. But I believe it's that night there's a huge block party in the city, and we see Ruby, who will gain more importance later on in the season, and she's in this beautiful blue dress that looks like it might be taffeta or some kind of silk, and this beautiful purple flower in her hair, and she's just oozing all this confidence, performing on stage, strumming her guitar, and she just oozes, like, she's so beautiful and confident, and it just oozes off of her. And then we see Letitia Lewis, also known as Letty, get out of this cab car in this beautiful red blouse with nice buttons and a flare skirt, and she surprises her sister, and she ends up performing with Ruby, who is her sister, on stage. What I also noticed about Letty is that she has this bright red bold lip, and I love a bright red bold lip myself, as we can see. And also I noticed, looking back at it, that Ruby also has a red lip, but hers is more of a cool tone. So that's interesting. Like the performance, like Ruby's wearing this red lip to perform, and I think the red lip is a part of Letitia's everyday life. Like her everyday makeup is that red look. Letty is wearing a lot of red, and I feel like in like the older black community that she would probably be seen as a hussy with like all that red. And then on stage she mentions that like she doesn't go to church anymore. I think and then she's like sweeping back into town. I think like she probably like, I feel like that character is honestly like kind of built around her kind of having this kind of like some kind of gossip surrounding her, like some kind of story behind her, that you can probably tell a lot of people probably, I don't know, think of her as a little hussy or something. Like she has this camera, she's a free spirit woman, very controlling of her life. And in the next scene, we see Tick talking to his Uncle George about how he plans to go find his father, and he's wearing another white top, but this one is more of like a crepe blend. There's buttons on it, there's a collar, it's a little bit more formal but still casual, and I believe he's still wearing blue jeans. So he's kind of sticking to that color scheme with the denim. And then in the scene where Letty is packing up Woody, which is the car that they travel across the country in, Tick appears in this green shirt, and I feel like that represents like his experience in the army, because I feel like that green, it kind of brings back his instinct to like search and find for his father, and he's kind of getting into that kind of persona or that vibe where he's gonna have to like search for his father, and I feel like that green kind of brings it back in. And then we also see in the same scene that Letitia is wearing she's wearing this nice black top with gold accents, and she's also wearing these hot pink cigarette pants that are high-waisted along with some white platform-esque heels that were very true to the time period. I also want to point out that when we first saw Letty, she's wearing a skirt and she's trying to kind of appeal to her sister in her first scene to kind of get some forgiveness and like explanation. So I feel like she kind of exudes that more feminine energy based on like what she's wearing. But now that she's traveling, she's leaving her sister, she's in pants now. So I feel like she kind of alters her wardrobe based on, I feel like she has like a kind of imagery with her sister versus with just herself. And Tick is also not wearing jeans in this scene. He's wearing these brown khaki pants that are high-waisted. As Letty and Tick are packing up Woody to travel to Arkham, George is met with his wife and daughter, who are going to be seeing him off on this trip, and they are wishing him well. Hippolyta is wearing this green shirt and a skirt, and I feel like the green kind of represents safety in this occasion, because she's wishing her husband and her nephew and the nephew's friend safety on their journey to traveling wherever they said they were going. Yeah. And then we see Dayna, or Dee, wearing a white shirt and these jean shorts or jean pants. And I feel like that's it's probably representative of what children her age were wearing at that time. But I feel like it kind of represents what she saw her big cousin Tick wearing, and I feel like she admires him. So she emulated him in her outfit by kind of wearing like the same thing that she saw him wearing. Uncle George is wearing a yellow tie as they're seeing him off, another kind of connection to that color story that we saw previously where Uncle George was wearing a yellow shirt. And then also I wanted to mention Letty is wearing red lips. So clearly we know that's a part of her everyday makeup. Now we get to the title story of the show and why it was called Sundown. So they reached this sundown town that they really weren't sure of. They're trying to vet this diner. In the scene, Letty wears a button-up white top with a notched collar, and she also has on these dark blue nautical light high-waisted shorts, and she is also wearing her white heels and a red lip again. And we also kind of pick up on that Letty really likes to have her waist accentuated, and she likes to wear heels, giving the appearance of long legs and a stronger kind of stature. I feel like she wears them to kind of seem like, to kind of like show off her confidence and strength as well. Tick is wearing the same green shirt that we saw before, and Uncle George is wearing he's wearing like a geometric tie, a dark color, not yellow this time, and he's wearing a 3/4 length white button-up t-shirt with suspenders and pants. He dresses pretty formal on these guide trips. So after that scene, we get introduced to another character that we'll see more of in the next episode. So this character, she's driving like a Rolls Royce, I believe. I'm not sure. This kind of luxury silver big body car, and she essentially rescues them from these racist hillbillies shooting at them. She steps out of this car wearing this wide red hat, think of like a church lady hat, and this beautiful black dress that's just beautifully done. Accentuates her waist, like has a slit in the front, like it's very dramatic, this introduction of her character. After they escape these hillbillies, they head to Letitia's brother's house, and this is when we see like a huge change in not only Letty's demeanor but her wardrobe. So everyone is still in the same outfit, Uncle George and Tick, but Letty changes into this light baby blue crochet kind of knitted dress. We see Letty in this baby blue dress, and her hair is pulled up and is wrapped in a scarf partially. And what's missing from her look is her signature, at this point, it's signature red lip. So I feel like she's meeting with her brother, kind of similar when she met with her sister. She dressed more feminine, but she still kept elements of what was true to herself. But when she's meeting her brother, I'm not sure what town he's in, but she's kind of like playing more into this feminine role. She's like looking more innocent. She's like taking the plates for them. She's standing back as they talk about how they're going to get to Artem and try to go on their role, versus like Letty has been a key figure in getting Tick and Uncle George to where they need to be. She's played a key role in that thus far. Like she got them out that crazy ass restaurant. She whipped the Woody to get them out of that crazy ass town. So I feel like it's definitely, she definitely takes a step back when she gets to her brother's house. She definitely went more into the traditional women stereotype, just kind of like standing back and like letting the men do the work, so they think, and just kind of like changing her demeanor and her look. So Letty and her brother get into this huge fight, and Letty ends up leaving with Uncle George and Tick the next morning, and we see her back in a white button-up and down shirt with red trim, red cigarette pants, her waist accentuated. She's back wearing a red lip. Her hair is down, but this time she's wearing flats and not heels. But I think that's her like going back into her Letty effing Lewis persona and reminding herself who she is and what she does and what she's gonna do. So I definitely think with that she becomes Letty Lewis again and not Letitia Lewis. She's not girl, she becomes Letty Lewis again. But she's wearing flats, which is different than what she's wearing. It's like, and they're tan too. So I think it's either like she's just tired and worn down from this argument, but she wants to get back into herself, but she can't fully become herself. And I think she just wants to take a seat. So these are the last outfits that we see. The main cast, which consists of Atticus, Uncle George, and Letty. But then we see a new character when they arrive to this mansion, all bloodied from the night's monstrous adventures. We see this white man with this bright icy blonde hair and these bright icy blue eyes. Looks very similar to Christina, who we saw before, who popped out that car to rescue them. And he's wearing a black pinstripe suit with red accents. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe for more content. Thank you again.